and welcome to week 3 of our resilience program. Today we will be focusing on the captain's thoughts and start to talk about appraisal theory. So, just to catch us up, last 2 weeks we've been talking about this metaphor where in the center is us as the captains, each one of us of our sailboats, our life, and the lighthouses are there to help us along the way. And last week we talked about the weather, right, which represents the events, things that are always happening in our lives, some positive, some not. And further, we talked last week about how much attention a captain pays to those events. And today, what we will now talk about is the thoughts that then come next, right, from our attention. What do we think? And translating this framework to real life is that one way you can think of the thoughts also is it's the beliefs that each one of us holds about a certain element, right? It could be about weather, and in future we'll talk about more things. And these beliefs are patterns that are, instilled in us from things that have happened in the past. And that's where the appraisal theory comes in, right? Which the core question it's trying to help answer and help us be resilient is by checking how does an individual interpret the positive and the negative events, right? And going further, what I would say is, if you remember the question from week 1, how the resilient people are able to see the same event and get through it, right? How are they able to interpret it? And the good news, again, here is that there's something that we can do. We can learn from those traits of the resilient. We can change regardless of, how our patterns are. And to take it further, the 3 key points that come out of appraisal theory are, the first one is that it is the appraisal, it is the interpretation of the events, right? Rather than the events that causes the emotion in us, right? And again, we've touched on this many times, but it's an important point. It is not that someone cuts you off or sends you an email or says a remark or not do something that causes the emotions in us. It's how we see it. And what do we tell ourselves? What's that story, that recording that goes in our head that causes the emotions? Further, the individual differences in emotional responses to the same event are caused by different appraisal, right? And we'll talk about it from an example and an outside work example here. Let's say if there's an end of a romantic relationship, right? Now, if this is seen as this is a great loss, right? I've lost everything I have, then, we're likely going to be sad. Versus if we see it happened because of me. I did something. I could have done this better. I could have done that. Then there's a guilt side of it. Now, it could also be on the other side, right? Maybe that relationship was not working out, and a resilient person could see this. Yes, it happened, but it also creates new possibilities, right? It could come as a relief. It could come as a, now what can I do? Or there could be the anger, right? That this is all that other person's fault. And again, the idea here is not to discount any of these emotions, not to put them on a side and say they don't exist. It's just to see what traits or how can we change the default pattern or the pattern that we repeat so that we not get caught up in this. The third thing from appraisal theory is that all the events to which the same appraisal pattern is assigned will evoke the same emotion, even to different events. So what that simply means is that there could be different situations, like someone is let go, someone is not invited to a party, or didn't get that email, didn't get that invite, whatever that may be, not get promotion at work, right? And the appraisal can be that this is unfair. This is, again, just one example, and the emotion that it will lead to is anger. So what appraisal theory is, again, reminding us here is that as we work through this, start to see patterns And then once we know the patterns, we can change those patterns, right, with something else that is more beneficial to us. So related to this, the quote that I chose for us today is that we are shaped by our thoughts, and what we become what we think. All that we are is a result of what we have thought, right? It's founded on our thoughts. It's made up of our thoughts. And we often get caught up in those thoughts. We often follow those patterns. And the good news here is that we can change, right? We can change those patterns. And the affirmation I chose for us today is that I can change my thoughts. Just like I know that this body is here, but I'm not just this body. I'm not just those thoughts. And let's practice this with a little bit of mindfulness and stretching. So I invite you to join me. Let's find a nice standing posture. Let's plant our feet. Let's bring our attention, our awareness from upper body down, scanning through the body, through the waist, legs, down to our feet, bending our elbows, bending our knees. Let's slightly lean forward, pressing our toes, and take our time scanning, going from the toes slowly towards the heels, touching every little part of our feet. So 30 seconds of mindfully standing. And by the time you reach back, it should almost feel like you're standing in a new way. You are glued to the ground, carpet, whatever you're standing on today. And being present, being centered, being grounded. Let's imagine now that a thread or a rope is pulling our head up. If it helps, put one palm on your belly, one on your lower back, and straighten your spine, standing taller.
Man.
1 second. Mute someone. All right, standing taller. Let's bring our palms in front of us. And slowly breathing in, let's stretch. And breathing out, let go. So again, the idea is slow down our breathing, bring awareness, relish, enjoy the stretch, and breathing out, relax, letting go. One more time. See if you can bring a smile by the time it's the third one, relishing, how wonderful. Let's do one more, bringing the palms in the center, breathing in. Let's imagine we are collecting the energy, chi, bringing it to our body, to our head, top of our crown of our head, and it's helping heal us, energize us, calm us down as it goes through our body. Again, pushing out anything that's not needed. Slowing it down as much as you like at your own pace. Enjoying, relishing the stretch. And after 3 times, let's take a pause. Taking your time, moving side to side. We'll do some tapping, flat palm or a fist, starting from your fingers, arms, shoulders, waking up your body. Releasing any tension, blockages. Varying the pace, skipping any part that doesn't feel right, but doing more or less. You should start to feel a little buzz, some more energy. Let's do it a few times lower body. So let's start from our waist, lower back around the waist, down on your thighs towards the top of the knee. If you're comfortable, below the knee on the outside, continuing down outside of the ankles, inside of the ankles, and slowly taking your time coming back up to the inside of the legs. Let's do it one more time. And lastly, we'll shake it off, arms up and down. Or you can breathe in. And again, shaking it off, letting it go. Whatever's not needed. And lastly, let's again rub our palms, feeling the warmth, taking that warmth, putting it over our face, our eyes. And taking your time, let's come back to our chairs. Again, beginning with bringing our awareness back to breathing. See if you can notice any difference in the breathing compared to when we started. And the stretching, tapping, breathing faster, heart beating faster, lungs rapid. Relish that. What a wonderful. And we have time on Monday, whenever you're joining, wherever you're joining from, to take time for ourselves to stretch. Now, time, sit, silence for ourselves. Guide your breathing to go slower and deeper. One way you can do that is by putting a palm on the heart, one on the belly, above, below, anywhere that's comfortable and it helps. Both palms on the belly. Taking a few slower and deeper inhale and exhales. And feeling settled. Let's sit taller, extending our spine above. Slightly lean forward as if stepping in. As the captain of our ship, sailboat, our life. Let's connect with the weather, representing whatever is happening around us today or recently. Are the clouds dark or clear? Is the sun out, literally, or whatever is happening? Are there storms, rain? Connecting with the theme of an event or images or a color. See what thoughts are flowing in your mind as you relate to that weather. And separating yourself from the thoughts. One simple way you can do that is by labeling it. Give the thoughts or the patterns of the thoughts a word. It can be an emotion. It can be as simple as stress, anxiety, overwhelm, fear. Wherever there's tightness in your body, acknowledge it. And being aware of the thoughts, aware of the body from a place of choice and awareness. Let's connect with the centering code for today. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. It is founded by our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. The idea in this meditation is not to stop the thoughts, but be aware and not get caught up in the stories, not get caught up in the wandering mind. By coming back to the breathing and further repeating the affirmations that resonate with you, like I can change my thought. I am resilient. It is not happening to me. It is happening for me. I am ready to step in and do what I can, regardless of the weather, to get through the weather, just like I have many, many times. As I go, there will be lighthouses, many ways, the way helping. I choose light. And feeling optimistic, feeling resilient, connecting with your power. Re-look at that event that is coming up for you today. Look at the pattern, look at that appraisal that is automatic ingrained in you, and instead choose. If it is not helping, choose another appraisal. Strike the words that are not helpful and write in your mind another set of words. I can't to I can, I will. And see if that changes how you're breathing. It opens up any the tightness that you saw, that felt. There's a relief knowing that each one of us, as a captain of our ship, has the power to decide the course, change direction. And again, anytime counter or negative thoughts come, stories start to showing up again, come back to breathing, come back to affirmations, come back to a vision of where you want to go, want to be. And with that, let's slowly start to come back to our body, taking our time, moving our fingers, moving our toes, moving our body side to side, bringing our palms together, being grateful for this time. Let's give ourselves a pat and a hug, small hug, big hug, and open our eyes with a smile. Welcome back. All right, so in the closing, I'll be sharing a link with you today about a podcast that I just released. It's with Trish, who was a corporate executive, ran a very large program in a major corporation, but she's retired now. But she's passionate and speaks about overcoming the stories we tell ourselves, especially the stories that are not helpful. And hopefully you'll get something good out of it. And again, inspiration and a motivation that we can change the stories. We can change the patterns, the appraisals. And that's how we can, again, be more resilient. So please listen to it. I'll share that link. And as you go back in your days, show your commitment, show one word or few words you're taking back with you in your day, in your week. Start your week calm, positive, optimistic, focused, and we'll see you on another Wednesday session or next week. And we'll start to look at how those same events that are happening, we can see them as a challenge and can get through those challenges. And again, be resilient. Thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.